Hello and welcome to Destination Paris, the show where we build up to the Summer Olympics, which are now less than a month away. Over the last few days, we've seen the city unveil flashy new stops on the underground, and organisers announced that the venues are almost ready. But over the next minutes, we'll be taking a look at where that leaves the athletes, who have just then a few weeks left to get themselves into the shape of their lives. Well, Japanese gymnasts are preparing to get their revenge for the finest of margins that saw them settle for silver back home in Tokyo. In the 2020 edition of the Olympic Games, the men's team were beaten by Russia by 0.103 of a point. That's a slither of a margin that cost them the title. Now, with 22 Russian athletes invited so far to compete as neutrals, well, the Japanese team have one other nation in sight. That's the neighbouring China. Russia, China and Japan have won every men's team gold medal ever since Helsinki back in 1952, with the exception of 1984. That was where the Soviet Union boycotted the edition.
I want us to win gold in Paris as a team, for us to laugh and enjoy the view from the podium together.
Based on our simulations, our level of difficulty is higher than China's. That was quite a surprise, since China had long had a higher D score than Japan, but ours is now higher.
Well, after withdrawing from the 200-metre sprint, Olympic champion Elaine Thompson-Herah won't be defending her 100-metre title either this summer. This, after winning both in Tokyo. Thompson-Herah was forced to withdraw from the Jamaican trials due to an injury to her Achilles. A heartbreak for her, of course, as she'd won the double in Tokyo, but also in Rio in 2016. Now, she put out the simple message online here that she will be back, and says that she will continue her sprinting career further down the line. Now, teams across the world, our teams have been getting up close with the athletes' preparations ahead of the Games. These last 2 weeks we've been following one of India's most active wrestlers, and in this third episode to come, Anshu Malik showed them what the preparations are like for her in the kitchen, but also around the table with her family.
In the calm of her village, far away from the frenzy of competition and whistles, Anshu takes a break to cook. On the menu, parathas, flatbread stuffed with potatoes and spices. One last indulgence. Wrestlers have to maintain their weight before each competition.
अभी जैसे मैं कंपटीशन से आई हूँ, तो अभी जो चीनी था, नमक था, सब कुछ मैंने तला सब कुछ छोड़ रखा था. तो अभी एक दो दिन का रेस्ट है, तो इसीलिए खा रही हूँ. अब बस ये लास्ट है, अब क्वालिफाई तक कोई पराठे वगैरह कुछ नहीं.
As with every meal, wrestling is on the table. 3 generations united around the same passion.
पहले दिन से यही है सपना है कि अब तो ओलंपिक में से मेडल लेके आना है.
Anshu was 10 years old when her grandparents pushed her to take up lessons.
मैं बोली भाई मैं पिटन नहीं दूंगी मेरी पोती ने. इसके दादाजी थे, इसका कुश्ती में नाम डाल. इतनी कसूती रुचि थी बेटी, इसकी की तमन्ना भगवान ने मारी तमन्ना पूरे कर दी है.
कुश्ती को मैं बार बार देखता हूँ और फिर मैं नोट करता हूँ कि कहाँ कमी हुई है. फिर अंशु को बुला करके मेरे पास फिर इसको दिखलाता हूँ.
The sport is part of their family heritage, and her younger brother is making sure it won't disappear anytime soon. He's 15 and, like her, wants to become a professional wrestler.
फिर ग्राउंड
बाउट किसी को ही
ठीक होगी,
पर पैर पाड़ लेना मेरा.
Fearless and tenacious, Shubham is full of praise for his older sister.
कि मैं भी देश के लिए और अच्छा करूँ और मेडल लेके आऊँ. इसको देख के थोड़ा मोटिवेट होता हूँ. ये एक मेरी आइडियल है.
One of the privileges of their childhood, being able to fight like siblings without being reprimanded by their parents.
आपके सिबलिंग्स में से कोई कर रहा है वही जो आप उस फील्ड में हो, तो साथ में क्योंकि वही सेम बातें होती हैं उसी चीज़ के लिए. अब ये बोलेगा कि झूठ है, पर ये जो इसके दांत टूट रहे.
ज़्यादा फनी मत हो.
ये मैं नहीं तोड़ रहा.
ज़्यादा फनी मत.
a few light moments for Anshu before she dives back into the competition for the final round.
And that'll be our fourth and final episodes in that second series to come then next week. Well, every week we also take a step aside from the Olympics and shine a light on the way that sports are practiced across France. Palet Breton is a puck-based game played in the western region of Brittany. And a particularly experienced champion is about to explain the rules to you. Laura Mousset and Théophile Varey went to meet him.
Je m'appelle Bousseau Louis, j'ai 93 ans. J'ai commencé à jouer au Palais à l'âge de 9 ans. Ça se joue à 5 mètres de la planche et la partie se joue en 12 points. Il y a 1 mètre, c'est comme le cochonnet à la pétanque. Et c'est le palais le plus proche qui marque le point. 12-7.
Bien joué.
Oui, j'ai sauvé 2 ou 3 fois.
Ah oui,
quand même.
t'as bien tapé.
J'ai bien tapé.
T'as bien tapé.
J'ai bien tapé. À 93 ans, Louis Bousseau est toujours champion. Il n'y avait aucune activité sportive pendant la guerre, évidemment. On jouait au Palais après un repas de famille, par exemple. À l'âge de 15-16 ans, j'ai commencé les concours. Et bon, j'ai eu la chance d'être assez doué, on va dire. Depuis quelques années, en Bretagne, les gens avaient un peu laissé les palais de côté. Et petit à petit, là, on sent que ça revient. Bien sûr, oui, c'est important. C'est l'identité bretonne.
On est clairement assez fiers de notre culture bretonne, de faire perdurer cette pratique qui se joue depuis je ne sais pas combien d'années. Je m'appelle Colin Méran, je suis coprésident du club La Petite Planche. C'est un club de palais qui se réunit du coup 3 fois par semaine environ. Nous, on a observé vraiment depuis le post-Covid un vrai engouement autour du palais breton. On se rend compte qu'il y a de plus en plus de personnes qui veulent jouer, qui veulent venir s'amuser, qui veulent venir découvrir le palais avec nous. Le palais, ouais, il est effectivement assez indissociable de boire un verre, de partager une galette saucisse. Voilà, c'est vraiment le côté convivial qui prime chez nous. C'est un sport qui séduit déjà en dehors de la Bretagne et qui séduira encore au-delà de la France, pourquoi pas un de ces quatre. Ouais. 2-0.
That is how the French do it then. Well, meanwhile, American Olympic champions Michael Phelps and Alison Schmidt have said that they've lost faith in the World Anti-Doping Agency's commitment to ridding the sport of cheats. Phelps, the most successful swimmer in history and a 23-time gold medalist at the Games, made the comments amid the discovery in April that 23 Chinese swimmers had tested positive for a banned substance. The World's Anti-Doping Agency at the time said that it couldn't refute Chinese authorities' explanations that the athletes' positive results was due to eating contaminated foods. Well, here are Phelps and Schmidt speaking to a US House subcommittee.
Right now, people are just getting away with everything. You know, there are people who are still testing positive that are still having the opportunity to compete internationally from all over the world. And how is that possible? Right? Like, it just makes no sense. I'm one that if somebody does test positive, I would like to see a lifetime ban.
There is no trust. And what we ask for is that trust for accountability and transparency. We don't have accountability and we don't have transparency as we have not seen the full files.
The World Anti-Doping Agency said that COVID-19 restrictions had prevented them from checking those tests and couldn't take that case any further. Well, we'll see how things evolve over the coming weeks with the start of the Olympics and the swimming then to come very soon. Many of the details about the grand opening ceremony are being kept under wraps. We know that there'll be floats, that there'll be athletes parading along the River Seine that runs through the centre of Paris. But the organising committee has allowed, as you can see here, some cameras to film a couple of minutes of some of the dancers' rehearsals. A mix of ballroom, modern, break dancing and more that'll be taking up part then of the opening parade to come on the 26th of July. And finally, some news that, well, clearly is not news in a certain way, since once again in skateboarding, Yuta Horigome has qualified to defend his title. No surprise, should we say, in this. At the Paris Olympics, after winning the street final in Budapest, the Japanese will be able to defend his title there after winning gold in Tokyo. And he managed to sign off there his run with a nollie 270 blunt slide here to finish things off with his incredible slide as usual. But take a look also here at 13-year-old Jinwoo Onodera, also making it after coming second there. It was a tray flip frontside board slide revert to finish things off. But let's hear from Yuto. Yuto, who did have some difficulties recently, though, also still managing to go in then to defend his title. But here he is speaking about that success then in Budapest.
Things hadn't been going well for the past 2 years, and I had been feeling a bit depressed, and there were times when I didn't want to skate at all. Then China happened, and I thought I had no chance. But I was given another opportunity. If I could get first place in this Budapest competition, I had a chance to go to the Olympics. Although it was a very small chance, I'm really glad that I believed in that possibility and skated until the end.
もう少しの可能性だったけど、その可能性を信じて最後までスケートできて本当に良かったです。
Yuto back in form there for the Olympics. Good to see. Well, that's all that we have now for the moment on Destination Paris. Join us again next week for more. Bye-bye for now.